Youth Social Media Ban in Effect by KIRRA McCAGUE. Australia's long-anticipated social media ban for under 16s has been in effect since December 10, 2025. The Online Safety Amendment, Social Media Minimum Age Bill 2024, amends the Online Safety Act 2021, and its December 10 implementation was preceded by a year-long consultation by the federal government, which sought to understand how online environments shape young people's well-being. More than 3,500 Victorians participated, and the majority of parents, school staff and children undertaking the survey agreed that when considering the impact of social media on children and young people, the negative impacts outweigh the positive. The ban responds to growing concerns about online harm. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese described meeting parents
who have seen their child's well-being crushed by the worst of social media, many living with the devastating pain of losing a child.
He framed the reform as relieving pressures from families.
You don't have to worry that by stopping your child using social media, you're somehow making them the odd one out.
Warrandyte-based youth and family counsellor Natalie Reinhardt echoes the concern, stressing the power of digital rabbit holes.
Young people at risk of issues such as self-harm, eating disorders and suicide can look up and follow these influences or streams that encourage that and give them ideas.
Reducing exposure to harmful algorithms, she believes, is an important preventative step. Yet while its objectives of protecting mental health, preventing harm, and reducing online pressure are clear, the ban raises difficult questions about what young people are supposed to do instead. Despite its protective intentions, the policy is primarily designed to make it easier for parents to restrict screen time rather than to reform their platforms themselves. It does not require tech companies to improve safety features, remove harmful content and algorithms, or limit addictive design. Nor does it create alternative spaces for young people to gather, socialise, or express themselves. The risk is that a blanket ban simply encourages young people to find less regulated platforms. This is where the policy's biggest gap becomes evident. The ban itself does not address the lack of free, accessible third spaces for young people. In Manningham, we are lucky to have options, but many do not. Here in Manningham, where 62.1% of families have children under 15, support for young people is growing. The A-Space Youth Centre in MC Square offers drop-in areas, art sessions, gaming, LGBTQIA+ support, and job readiness help. Local skate parks, libraries, and council-run programs provide additional outlets. Recent infrastructure grants have funded upgrades at leisure centres, but these can remain out of financial reach for some young people under 16. Similar services have also been established in Nillumbik, with a dedicated youth hub offering a one-stop destination to meet the needs of Nillumbik's youth, less than 300 metres from Diamond Creek Station. Social media has long served as a vital connection to peers, interest groups and identity communities. Removing that connection without offering new ones risks deepening social isolation rather than improving well-being. Though Ms. Reinhardt notes that communication won't disappear entirely.
Young people can still game together and hang out in many ways online. It will just be shifting to new apps that don't allow certain types of content or sharing.
Messaging platforms like Discord or basic chat apps remain permitted. Still, she argues the ban should come with clear guidelines.
It may be less about telling young people what they can't do and more about telling them what they can do.
Manningham's Youth Advisory Committee has identified its current top priorities: improving transport, upgrading public facilities, creating inclusive community spaces, increasing green spaces, and enhancing youth support. The Nillumbik Youth Council identified similar outcomes with the Nillumbik Youth Strategy 2022 to 2026, focusing on 5 priorities: healthy and well, empowered and engaged, access to safe spaces and places, equipped and employed, welcomed and connected. The Diamond Creek Youth Hub opened in 2024 and was funded by local, state and federal government. Actions to date and the priorities committed to across both municipalities show that well-being isn't improved by restriction alone and that collaboration is key. The federal government acknowledges that the new social media policy will not be perfect. Some young people will inevitably find workarounds. But Ms. Reinhardt argues that shouldn't discourage action.
We know for a fact the damage social media is doing to our young people, so we need to trial new approaches.
The ban marks a significant cultural shift, one that may reduce exposure to harmful content and relieve pressure on families. But on its own, it cannot reshape the landscape of youth well-being. The federal government must also invest in accessible, affordable third spaces. The landmark world-leading social media ban marks a new chapter in youth policy, and with continued consultation, has the potential to grow and better support the needs of young Australians. Tell us about your experiences. Now that our youth and their families have had some time to adjust to the new ban, the Manningham and Nillumbik Bulletin would like to hear from those impacted by the ban and their families about how it has changed or not changed their online and socialising habits. Email bulletin@warrandytediary.com.au with your thoughts and experiences. This story was read by Rebecca Rose, Adrian Rice and Hazel Rice.